No. In the state of California, you can register to vote all the way up until the last day to vote, which is November 5th. In LA County, you may vote at any voting center or polling place of your choosing. Early voting has already started, both in person and by mail. If you need information about your registration or any election question, call the Registrar of Voters at 800-815-2666. That's 800-815-2666, or visit lavote.gov. Once you fill out your mail-in ballot, you may drop it in any county election mailbox found outside places like libraries, or you could drop it off with a poll worker at any vote center. If you suspect election foul play, voter suppression or intimidation, or other irregularities, or if you need to know more about your rights, call the Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE. That's 866-687-8683. From any state. And if you need more information on specific candidates or propositions, check out our interviews and analysis on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, November 5th is the last day to vote, and the sooner we do it, the better. Helping you vote like your life depended on it, because it does. Your election information station, KBLA, Talk 1580.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The present is the now. The now is the whole movement of time thought, right? Yeah. It's the whole structure. Yeah. If the structure of time and thought ends, the now has totally different meaning. The now then is nothing. I mean, when we use the word nothing, it doesn't, zero contains all the figures, right? Yeah. So nothing contains all. But we are afraid to be nothing.
We are afraid to be nothing. Because as Krishnamurti says, the center is me. Me is the ego. And most of our egos were formed in a dysfunctional environment. Do you understand? So the dysfunction, the wounds, the hurt, the pain, the trauma, the disconnect became, right, our identity. And we think others are supposed to shift and adjust to our shards, our fragmentation, internal fragmentation. So he says you're afraid to be nothing. You'd rather be dysfunctional. You'd rather be the physical manifestation of dysfunction than to be nothing, because to be nothing is to not exist anymore. As dysfunctional as we all may be, we get to go home and close the door behind us and lock it and say, at least I'm me. Do you see? Not knowing, right? Because remember, the key in what he said is all is contained in nothing. And this is why theoretical physicists loved Krishnamurti, because he was able to put words to their theoretical mathematical equations. When you're talking about the probability wave in the measurement problem, well, unless there is an observer, the electron is everywhere, every when, in every position, known as superposition. It's a probability wave where the probability of the electron can be anywhere. Do you see? That's what he means by all in nothing. Nothing in the sense, I don't know where this electron is. But when you add the observer, the probability wave collapses and the physical, tangible electron appears. That's the same as a man thinketh, so is he. You don't know what you could be, but if you were conditioned to think you weren't enough, anxious, preoccupied, if you were conditioned to believe that the full spectrum of your emotions were not welcome, you began to self-soothe and you became a dismissive avoidant. You said, I got it myself. Too much love is unsafe. And if you were conditioned to be a fearful avoidant, gosh, I got to go to the source of pain for love. Am I going to get it this time? Or am I going to get more pain? And when it comes, it's wonderful. And when it doesn't come, it's hurtful. So then you become the swinging pendulum, conditioned to be such. Conditioned to be relationally impoverished. Are you relationally impoverished? You can't afford me. You can't afford the ideal in your head. I talked to a sister the other day at the cigar lounge. She talked about how she dates the idea and not the man. She dates the potential and not the person. Everybody's a work in progress. Everybody is broken to some degree. Everybody has fragmented parts of their soul. And here you are dating a pristine, clear ideation of who you think they should be, as opposed to dating who they actually are. And the reason why you do that, because you haven't accepted who you actually are. You think you are the mask. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. But we're going to fix it tonight. Top 10 signs of a relationally impoverished relationship. Poor communications, right? Partners struggle to communicate openly. They've been conditioned to do so. Come from an avoidant communicative household, this is what you're going to do. Often resorting to passive-aggressive behaviors or avoidance, leading to misunderstanding, disrespect. There is a lack of respect for each partner's opinions and feelings, often leading to dismissive attitudes or contempt. Sounds like a competitive or combative communicative style. Emotional neglect. One or both parties fail to provide emotional support, leading to feelings of isolation and lack of validation. Enmeshment or codependency. Boundaries are blurred, and one partner may rely excessively on the other for emotional stability, undermining individual identities. Stagnation. There is little encouragement. You may have come from a household like that. There is little encouragement for personal growth or exploration of individual interest, leading to a sense of complacency. Avoidance of conflict. Come on, don't act like a lot of us don't have this in our family. If it's in your family, it's in your relationship. If it's in your relationship, it's there for resolution. And resolution today doesn't mean it comes to an end. It means you have learned to manage it to where it doesn't have a significant impact on how you interface with another or how you interface with yourself. Disagreements are either ignored or escalate into unhealthy arguments with no constructive resolution or management plan sought. Distrust and insecurity. Where my fearful avoidance at? Huh? A lack of trust leads to suspicion, jealousy, or fear, making partners feel unsafe in expressing their true selves. Huh? Lack of intimacy, right? Emotional and physical intimacy are minimal or absent, resulting in superficial connection that lacks depth, right? See, these last two I'm okay with. We can have divergent values. Do you understand? We don't have to believe everything. See, when you're healed on the inside, your job is not to feel safe in the uniformity of your partner's thoughts, actions, beliefs, and goals with yours. See, I feel like when there is insecurity, there has to be familiarity. Ooh, I know people don't want to hear tonight. You got to think like me so I can feel comfortable. I need to be able to recognize me in you, even if what I'm recognizing is toxic. See, I'm okay with divergent values. Believe what you want. You can still be committed to us. You could be still committed to building something, even if you have different beliefs. Somebody said we got to have the same beliefs in order to be on the same page, and that's not necessarily true. I believe the broken versions of us need uniformity. Whatever is uniform is also linear. And I'm going to tell you right now, spirituality is non-linear. And relationships are inherently spiritual. You think if we believe the same, we got a better chance of staying together? Absolutely, if you're both unwilling to heal. I'm sorry. Equally yoked don't mean we believe the same thing. Equally yoked is talking at a spiritual level. You don't even recognize that trauma bonding is also equally yoked. You don't even recognize that avoidant, anxious, preoccupied, and dismissive avoidant and fearful avoidant are equally yoked, which is why they're attracted to each other. You don't understand mirror of relationship. Huh? Our consciousness level makes us equally yoked. SLDD. Self-love deficient disorder and narcissists, codependence and narcissists are equally yoked. It's not talking about ideas, the ideological construct. Well, we got the same religion, but you also got the same wounds. Oh, I wish you guys was at my round table the other night when the sister was talking. Right, we had Dr. Pakal in, and she was breaking down some things. And we got to a point where we said what most people fail to realize, trust and loyalty, and mainly trust, because trust is rooted in fear. This is why it's such a big deal for most relationships. I need to be able to trust you, right? You can't trust a work in progress. But when we got to the point where we said trust is like training wheels, until you fall in love with yourself, until you heal yourself or start the healing process, start self-conquering, start winning some internal battles, until you're able to do that, those training wheels of trust will be needed. But once you begin the process of conquering you, you're going to find out you don't need the trust training wheels. Ooh, here we go. Reggie from Austin, Texas. I want you to get in here, man, and wrap us up, good brother. Please finish the powerful thoughts you had going.
I was saying that your presence means everything. Your healed presence means everything, or your healing presence means everything. The last thing I want to say is that there's a book that I'm reading by Joe Dispenza. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Great book. I got it. I read it. Powerful stuff.
Man, I just started it, man, and I was like, wow, it makes a lot of sense. While you're doing the work on yourself, It's a good text to have. All right?
Yes.
That's about it, bro.
Reggie, guess what you just did, brother?
Brought us to the building.
Austin, Texas is in the house. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is tap those digits. 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. Non-judgmental conversation. Get in here. Talk to your brother. Listen, when I come forward, you know who I got to talk to next. Sister girl Attila from Houston, Texas. Why is Texas repping harder than LA? Are we all watching the World Series? Y'all know the Dodgers is going to win. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Money can't buy your class. Money can't buy your class. Elegance is learned, my friends. Elegance is learned, oh yeah. Money can't buy your class. Money can't buy your class. Elegance is learned, my friends. Elegance is learned. Forget to hold the door when I give them so much more than they can imagine. Money rich and manners poor.
Big mistake a lot of people don't realize, which is if you do really well and you don't believe in yourself, you don't become secure. A lot of people think that becoming secure is about being successful. That's not the case. If you're really successful, you don't end up with security. You end up with imposter syndrome. So I went to Tufts for medical school and I did my residency training at Harvard. And what I saw is that the more successful you become, that increases the rate of imposter syndrome. There's way more imposter syndrome at Harvard than there is at the University of Texas. There's way more imposter syndrome at a place like Goldman Sachs than there is at Bank of America. So lots of success actually.
Was Nick Cannon suffering from imposter syndrome? See, let me tell you something. When a woman, a successful woman, intimidates you, you're not really an alpha. I understand. He could be young. And he's probably evolved from where he was when he got married. 100%. But you have to understand, we have to purge some of the masculine constructs that says, if I got all the resources I need, I am all the man she will need. Do you see? See, men think provision, and that's part of it. Provision is part of it. But it's not just provision of tangible resources. It's also provision of spiritual balance, internal integrity, living in your truth. And it is a struggle. I'm like him. Me and Nick ain't no different. I failed myself by not understanding the work that I needed to do. And if I don't understand my internal work, there's no way I can show up in my full potential for you, or at least in a potential that actually has the ability to inspire you, right? You hear certain people say, hold on, presence. If your presence is conflicted, if you're at war with yourself, see, you could be at war with yourself by comparing yourself to your woman's wealth. Ooh, I know y'all don't want to hear it put that way. If her money didn't matter, just the cultivation of your manhood, she would stay in love. She would be locked in because you are a magnet of meaning, masculine meaning, brother. But when your meaning is extrapolated from your bank account, from the type of car you drive, because that's what society said a real man was, she's ready to bounce. Let it play.
University of Texas. There's way more imposter syndrome at a place like Goldman Sachs than there is at Bank of America. So lots of success actually creates this idea that everyone else is so much better than me. So we see actually lots of success leads to imposter syndrome. Confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from surviving failure. It's also far more internal. So it's not something that anyone else gives you. It's like when you believe in yourself, then you're confident. And then the beautiful thing is that once you believe in yourself, then other people can think whatever they want to about you.
Self-awareness. This is what Krishnamurti talks about. This is what I talk about. This is what we... Man, he said confidence comes from survival. You survive difficult things in your life and heal. I would go even further, not just surviving like, whoo, that was close, but learning, evolving from those failures, from those difficulties, from those close calls. And if you can go inside and say, man, this came from childhood and it does not serve my highest good. Somebody meme it. Man, this came from childhood and it does not serve my highest good. If you can have a succession of those types of wins, as my sister, Dr. Pakoya McCall Robinson, in her win journal. She has a journal that's about journaling these daily wins. And these are self wins. You know, something else in my psyche popped up that I need to pay attention to. Right? And now that I have it on my radar, I'm working on that. This is how you become a magnet of meaning, men. What you got don't make you meaningful. What you are does. Now, you've been living in a society, brothers, that said you ain't nothing. Your daddy wasn't nothing. Your granddaddy wasn't nothing. The people you came from were tools. You're nothing. So the only way to feel like you're enough and you matter is something. And unfortunately, that something comes from outside of you. Do you see? The concept of relational impoverishment emerges as a profound inquiry into the emotional, psychological, and spiritual currency we possess or lack. Much like financial insolvency, emotional poverty manifests as an inability to engage in healthy relationship due to a lack of resources such as self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and personal integrity. Listen, my personal integrity bank account been low before, and it's caused me to make poor choices. And in those poor choices, I had to pay the consequence. This your life, brothers. Tonight's topic is covering that. Right? And of course, that last clip we played, which was the sister, we gave the wrong information. It was Pema Chodron. Right? It was Pema Chodron. But you gotta embark. Relationships are meant for you to go on a spiritual self journey. Because as long as you're connecting with somebody, they are reflecting you back to you. The data about you back to you. To embark on a journey of holistic growth is to traverse uncharted territory. And now it's often fraught with unintended consequences. As we evolve, shedding limiting beliefs and embracing self-respect, chaos may ensue. Krishnamurti posits that true transformation requires a radical re-examination of yourself, and this often provokes discomfort in our relationship. As we challenge the status quo, our growth can elicit feelings of threat in those who benefit from our previous emotional immaturity, our emotional insolvency. This chaos, while a natural part of our personal evolution, can lead to relational strain. I want to be something better than I was before I walked into this damn relationship. I want to be something more meaningful first to myself and then to you. But if you're addicted to the brokenness that I was before, you're going to be hesitant to let the new me shine through. And your weaknesses are going to try to outshine and minimize and diminish the light that is starting to emerge from my journey within. Are you relationally impoverished is the question. When I come forward, Houston, Texas is on board.
Buy your class, elegance is learned, my friends. Elegance is learned, oh yeah. Money can't buy your class. Money can't buy your class. Elegance is learned, my friends. Elegance is learned.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. One of Dwayne Wade's most famous moments is now immortalized in bronze. The 8-foot bronze statue depicts Wade reacting after he hit a game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer in a double overtime win over Chicago in 2009. Jury selection for Daniel Penny's NYC subway chokehold trial continues with challenges due to the 6-week length and $40 daily pay. Penny, a Marine veteran, is charged in the May 2023 choking death of Jordan Neely, a black homeless man. Quarter Pounders will be back on the menu at all McDonald's this week following an E. coli outbreak. The CDC reported there have been 75 E. coli cases confirmed in 13 states. And Diageo is boosting HBCU innovation, celebrating Homecoming Week with events like the Alumni Bison Ball at Howard University and football classics in Alabama and Louisiana. Since 2021, it's invested nearly $12 million in endowments. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Hello? You gotta get your story straight. What an idiot. Get it through your noodle. Don't give a rat's behind. That's baloney.
A new era begins.
And I'm just getting started.
Judy Justice.
Check your local listing to watch Judy Justice. Out now.
KBLA Talk 1580 is here for you as you make your voting plan. And we've got a few things you may want to know. In the state of California, you can register to vote all the way up until the last day to vote, which is November 5th. In LA County, you may vote at any voting center or polling place of your choosing. Early voting has already started, both in person and by mail. If you need information about your registration or any election question, call the Registrar of Voters at 800-815-2666. That's 800-815-2666, or visit lavote.gov. Once you fill out your mail-in ballot, you may drop it in any county election mailbox found outside places like libraries, or you could drop it off with a poll worker at any vote center. If you suspect election foul play, voter suppression or intimidation, or other irregularities, or if you need to know more about your rights, call the Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE. That's 866-687-8683. From any state. And if you need more information on specific candidates or propositions, check out our interviews and analysis on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, November 5th is the last day to vote, and the sooner we do it, the better. Helping you vote like your life depended on it, because it does. Your election information station, KBLA Talk 1580.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Before running for state senate, Laura Richardson was named one of the most corrupt members of Congress, guilty on 7 counts of ripping off taxpayers and a pattern of deception trying to cover it up. Richardson is too shady for state senate. For your state senator, frontline nurses, classroom teachers, and Planned Parenthood Advocacy Project support Democrat Michelle Chambers, a champion for abortion rights, higher wages for workers, and more affordable health care. Democrat Michelle Chambers for state senate.
Ad paid for by nurses and educators supporting Chambers for Senate 2024, sponsored by labor and nonprofit environmental and health organizations, Ad Committee's top funders, SEIU California State Council, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their program. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, baby. It's dedicated to all the pretty girls. All the pretty girls in the world, and the ugly girls too. Cause to me, you're pretty anyway, baby. You give me your number, I call you up. You act like you don't interrupt. I don't have no trouble with you me, but I have a little problem with you not me. Baby, you know I'ma take care of you. Cause you say you got my baby and I know it ain't true. Is it a good thing? No, it's bad. For good or worse, makes you switch. So I walk on over with my crystal. Put away your pistol. Dirty won't be having it in this house. Cause I'll cripple your style. Now that you heard my charming voice, you couldn't get another. You won't get moist. If you wanna look good and not be bummy, yo, you better give me that money.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money.
Yo, so I glanced at the girl glanced at me. I whispered in the ear, wanna be with
INFJs, I have a bold statement for you. There are people in your life who can't afford you. They can't afford you emotionally and definitely not morally. They don't have the integrity that is necessary to keep you in their lives. You give too much away to people in your life who don't deserve you and who can't afford you. By the way, I'm talking to myself as well. It's a good reminder, so stay with me, because at the end of this video, you're not going to only understand the concept of it, but you will know when to pick up on it. Very often we just miss the clear signs. Today, we're going to find out how you will know this right away so you can stop this trend when it begins. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You will see it in every single person that you meet, in every single person.
That was really powerful. Can you restart that video? Because that video encapsulated the whole show, just in the beginning of her setup.
INFJs, I have a bold statement for you. There are people in your life who can't afford you. They can't afford you emotionally and definitely not morally. They don't have the integrity that is necessary to keep you in their lives. You give too much away to people in your life who don't deserve you and who can't afford you. By the way, I'm talking to myself as well.
Pause
it's a good
before
reminder.
she even goes any further. Like, do you understand the magnitude of what was just said? We're human beings. We're going to hurt each other. We're human beings. We're going to let each other down. We have nonsensical, goofy, silly beliefs that we think an idea or a social construct makes the relationship safer. Oh, we're no longer cohabitating. We're now exclusive. So what I wouldn't do when we was just cohabitating or just dating, now I'm gonna do something different. And they think the doing is the gluing. Did you hear what I said? The doing is not the gluing. See, we think all of the things okay, and now after now we're exclusive. Let's take it up a notch. Let's get married. None of this agreement, social agreement, will bring about inner peace. Only the skills and the tools needed to reverse relational debt will do that. Your partner can walk with you on your journey, but they cannot shoulder your debt. Now, in the real world, they can. Y'all married, his debt, your debt. So don't hide the debt when y'all get married. You know, some people get the jack-in-the-box surprise. Whoa, you got child support on 4 kids? Oh, sorry about that. Oh, you got $680,000 in student loans? Oh, sorry about that. You get what I'm saying? But what she's saying is so powerful. If you're not on the healing journey, do you have the spiritual, emotional, psychological resources to afford the relationship that is designed to reveal itself to you so you can break you, so you can undo what has made you over 30 years, 35, 40 years? Do you understand? Go ahead.
At the end of this video, you're not going to only understand the concept of it, but you will know when to pick up on it. Very often we just miss the clear signs. Today we're going to find out how you will know this right away so you can stop this trend when it begins. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You will see it in every single person that you meet, in every single person you have a dynamic with, and it won't mean that you will be alone and you'll cut everybody out. So trust me, it will get interesting. We as INFJs have a very unique ability. We can give to others. We can give our time, we can give our energy, and we can give others our perspective. This gift is incredibly valuable. It's not something you're going to find at every corner. But if people can see that value and you're still trying to convey it to people, you're metaphorically casting pearls before swine. Ooh. Imagine it like this. You'll have the recipe how a person can change their life, feel their best, and really tap into their purpose. Like, I'm talking transformational stuff here. It's the difference between a person going through life and hating their life and really knowing, oh, this is the best thing I could have ever seen. This changed my life. I'm so happy I'm me and I can finally embrace that. That's the kind of energy we can bring. That's the kind of transformation we can bring. But imagine this recipe is on a piece of paper and a person just can't read. It doesn't matter how well you write that text. It doesn't matter if you change the language of this text.
If you can't communicate your feelings, do you understand? If you can't communicate your needs, and believe me, it doesn't matter. Fearful avoidant, ADHD, dismissive avoidant, anxious preoccupied. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. There's always help for all of it. The only thing that doesn't really have any help is narcissists. Like full-blown narcissism, right? Like NPD. Not narcissistic traits. Everybody has them. Everything else can get worked out, so long as you get past your fear. Attila from Houston, Texas. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Child, we cooking. We is cooking. First of all, I love that you ended with wages, considering that you're an INFJ. I'm an INFJ, so it makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to bring up two things, or I'll say three. Three things that I just kind of taken from the calls and just the show in general has been incredible. But when you and John were talking about debt, it kind of like got me thinking. And I think the reason why we prefer to hold that weight of the debt is because the victimhood that we gain is worth way more than the potential freedom in our mind when we're unhealed. You know what I'm saying? So the second thing that came to me And this is when we were listening to Healthy Gamer. He is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing I thought about was that your empathy is not the star of the show in the moment that your partner is in pain. So if it's your partner, your friend, your family member, that is not your time to shine, okay?
Wait, hold on. Let us marinate a taste. Your empathy is not the star of the show when your partner is in pain. Girl, go ahead. Come on. You got to speak on it. Come on.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, like, that's one of those situations, and I know you've experienced this before, where you're, like, in pain or, like, you're going through something, and you go and you talk to that person about what you're going through, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, in 1986, child, you'd be like, we is not talking about you. This is, oh, my God. And it's not one of those things where you're trying to hog the spotlight. That's not what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is when you're talking about presence,
making it about them.
In that pain.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think people do that because they either A, genuinely don't care about what you're going through for real, or B, they're uncomfortable by the vulnerability that you're having to experience because they haven't gotten to that postmark yet in their life.
Ooh. Keep going.
There's that. And the last thing, I just feel right now like a lot of the growth that I'm experiencing and even just hearing other people's stories is weird. It's like we're taking emotional pain reflexes and kind of flipping them on their head. So when you would flinch, instead you decide to lean in. And I feel like that's evidenced by the growth that you experience. But that's it.
Man, come on. Attila, guess what you just did?
All right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, come on, pull it out, let it go. Pew, 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 pew. Hey, hit us with your thoughts on tonight's topic when we come forward. You already know what I'm about to do. I got to go to Miami. Florida. One of the realest of the real is out there. You already know what it is. Hustle habit. When we come forward, clearly, we got a lot to talk about.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Medicare open enrollment is here, and it's a time you can make changes to your health coverage. Yet, watch out for enrollment and marketing scams. Remember, Medicare will neither call you nor solicit your business. Guard your card. Never give out your Medicare number to strangers. Unsolicited calls, door-to-door visits, and emails are prohibited. Take your time. Don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. Report scams to our California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080.
That morning chill means truck season!
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
It's Chevy Truck Season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
This is Assemblymember Tina McKenna reminding you to vote for my girl, Sade Alawari, for State Assembly. Sade is a part of our community, and she's the partner I need in Sacramento to help fight for economic justice, affordable housing, healthcare, and so much more. Sade is just like us. She comes out of our community, and she spent years working in our community, bringing people together. That's why she's endorsed by Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, Supervisor Holly Mitchell, teachers, firefighters, and Planned Parenthood advocates. This is Tina McKenna, and I need you to make a plan to vote and to vote by Tuesday, November the 5th, for Sade Alawari for State Assembly.
Ad paid for by Opportunity PAC, a coalition of teachers, nurses, faculty members, school employees, and public and private labor, healthcare, and environmental organizations. Ad committee's top funders, California Teachers Association, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
Climate justice,
climate equity,
climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024
and beyond.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Man, where that Kelly Rowland documentary? She would be a great Donna Summer. I can feel it. They should do that, man. Let me get right to the phone callers, man. Let me just go right to my brother, Hustle Habit. Hustle, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
What's up, brother?
What's happening, man? What are your thoughts, man? We've been on one all 2 hours. The whole show, we've been on one. What are your thoughts, brother?
So, real quick, maybe you could help me reconcile some of this.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I'm seeing it is you have spiritual and you have physical.
Mm-hmm.
Above, below.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual, unlimited. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I could give unconditionally to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit within. Physical, however, we can't discount that. The physical has limits. The physical exists in this plane. If you're interacting in this world, we have to consider it. So what I had to do was make an appraisal of the physical.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what interacting with others on the surface level, right? The question is, how would you feel about appraising others to equate your own value, meaning to figure out the budget?
Not our job, because we can equate what they have materially, physically, but we cannot extrapolate a value for their spirit. Again, Krishnamurti, and I would challenge everybody to look this up. Krishnamurti had a famous speech, I think it was in 1928 or 1932, one of the two. It's called Truth is a Pathless Land. And what he basically said was, there is nobody who can tell you how spiritual you are or not. Nobody can tell you what the source of your source is. And even if you're dealing with a psychologist will also tell you, I can't see into your mind, which is why they break things down into mental patterns and behavioral patterns. So they say, you know what, let me just buy. But if you don't understand the intent behind the behavior, if you don't understand where it's all coming from, you're missing a crucial part of that person's story. So you can't really evaluate another person's spiritual journey and or development or lack thereof. You can only bottom line them to, I just know what you did. You know? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
So, okay, so let's stay there. Let's stay on the physical plane then.
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally measure what it is you give from that physical space.
So you can measure whatever you want. You can measure the upbringing. You can measure, the type of parents they had. You can measure their education. You can measure, the basic stuff, where they went to school and their degrees and where, what field they work in. But what you can't measure, right, really, like you can get a basic idea, but you can't truly measure because you can't experience what they experience. So you can't measure the spirit piece. This is why, again, Krishnamurti said the highest form of observation is to be able, or the highest form of intelligence is to be able to observe without judgment. You understand? We don't know what they've been through. We don't have a direct experience of what they've been through. So, again, we can sit back and say, you know what, based on your upbringing, you check all the boxes. But then you get into a relationship with them, and then demons, shadow, unhealed wounds, trauma, stuff starts coming up. And then you start to see how it was Bruce Pearl from Auburn. He says, I believe that adversity reveals who you are. He told my son that when he first got there. He said, I want to see how you respond when you're down. Relationships operate the same way. Adversity reveals character. It reveals it. It reveals integrity or the lack thereof. It reveals character or the lack thereof. And oftentimes when people show lack in relationship, we lose attraction. Then you have to ask, what am I really attracted to? Am I attracted to perfection? Do I need them to be perfect so I don't have to be? Because most people are not attracted to a human being, which is a work in progress, who's inherently flawed. Most people are looking for a relational Messiah. Come save me from me. Does that make sense?
Well, this just came to me. What do you think about a spiritual insurance plan?
Ain't one, because spirituality is nonlinear.
Well, let me explain what I mean. Investing into the spiritual helps to cover the physical.
Okay, yeah, but again, if you invest in the spiritual, you can't have expectation. Like, I need it to turn out like this. See, when you go spiritual, you relinquish ego. Ego is about destination and what I get at the end of the work. Spirit is not concerned. Spirit is the moment, the present, the now, which is perpetually new. Does that make sense?
Would you think that...
Wait, listen, we got 10 seconds, but you cooking. Man, if you would have got in here earlier, hey, listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. My brother, Hustle Habit from Miami, man. Go down there and knock down that Dwayne Wade statue. We appreciate the call. Nothing but love. Listen, I started the conversation. You finish it. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. Deuces.
Come on. Y'all wanna floss with us? Come on. All across the board, we burn it up. Drop a little paper, baby, toss it up. Slacking on your pimpin', turn it up. See the money ain't a thing.
Flex the road, sign a check for ya. Jigga style is love. X and O. Save all your accolades, just the dough. My game is wide, all names aside. Trying to stay alive. 100 down for the bracelet. Foolish ain't I? The chain to strain your eye. Twin platinum guns.